Top 15 movies about the end of the world. With all that is going on with the current COVID-19 pandemic and everyone freaking out about the end of the world, one must remember that truth is truly stranger than fiction. Be it gigantic volcanoes, eight-legged aliens, or deadly viruses, end-of-the-world movies have always pushed for that edge-of-your-seat adrenaline rush while you're cozied in your seat for 2 hours. In this video, we'll list our top 15 movies about world-ending disasters and deadly pandemics. And without further ado, let's begin with our list. We can't wait for you to get to number 1, the one that freaked us out and made us really wonder where the line is between fiction and reality. Number 15. Virus. This Indian entry tells the story of the Nipah virus, which spread in the Kerala state in southwestern India, claiming the lives of nearly 20 people during its 1-month duration. The plot is set in Kozhikode and follows the various stages of the epidemic from identification to its total annihilation. The film approaches the afflicted and dead cases more than the political decisions and media panic dealt with in other films. It also centers around the lives of people and their relationships with others before being infected. The film also explores the collective paranoia created by the virus outbreak and how it disrupted the lives of individuals, both victims and healthcare officials, making it very relatable to our current situation. Among the important details covered in the film is the process of disposal of bodies, whether by burial in the ground or burning, and the impact of this on the spread of the virus and any safer method that does not conflict with the culture of the ritual after death. If you thought this was insane, wait till you reach number 1. Number 14, 2012. Based on the ancient Mayan prophecy of the world ending on December 21st of the year 2012, the movie follows an everyday man played by John Cusack trying to survive with his family when a series of global catastrophes threatens to annihilate mankind for good. The film draws heavily from the biblical tale of Noah's Ark and does a pretty damn good job in making us piss our pants several times. Number 13, War of the Worlds. Loosely based on the 1898 similarly titled novel by H.G. Wells, this Steven Spielberg-directed picture tells the story of a dock worker played by Tom Cruise, who's trying to protect his family against an unexpected alien invasion. The film starts with an ordinary man getting a surprise visit from his kids, and quickly skips to them being attacked by giant tripod-shaped aliens in huge fleets, shelling away any possibility that this is your typical warm family movie. The film goes down as one of the most well-known adaptations of the story, with praise going to its lead actors and visual effects team. Number 12. Planet Terror. After an experimental gas is accidentally released at a remote US military base in Texas that turns people into flesh-eating zombies, an eclectic group of people join forces to survive the night. The film has several WTF moments, like the lead heroine of the film, Cherry Darling, firing a grenade launcher from her leg. And Bruce Willis? What the hell are you doing here? The film was released alongside Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof and acts as a double feature. The film also pays homage to 70s grindhouse films with its damaged appearance that gives a low-budget feel. Number 11. The Resident Evil series. Sexy gun-wielding heroine? Check. Badass zombie butt-kicking scenes? Check. An interesting saga that doesn't get repetitive or outdated? Check. This 6-part film series, loosely based on the popular video game of the same name, centers around Mila Jovovich's character fighting against an evil corporation creating a virus that turns most of humanity into zombies. The series received praise for its excellent representation of the video game's mood and themes, as well as Jovovich's portrayal of Alice. Number 10. Dawn of the Dead, 1978 and 2004. George A. Romero's 1978 classic isn't just a clever satire of consumerism. It's also a look at how the zombie apocalypse functions like a plague. And while Zack Snyder's action-packed remake ditched the satire, it actually expanded on the disease element. It pays homage to the original while working on its own terms, showcasing a group of survivors fighting off giant hordes of zombies. If you've been having a gory zombie itch lately, we recommend watching both films. Number 9. Airplane. While Airplane is technically a parody film about disaster movies, it does a great job in actually making one. The movie is about a weird virus that strikes a crew of an airplane, leaving them unable to fly the plane. And the plane's responsibility suddenly becomes none other than ex-Navy pilot Ted Stryker, who's been nervous about flying ever since an incident he encountered during the war. The film is filled with hilarious one-liners, like one,
"The stewardess said both pilots.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious."
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Doctor, I've checked everyone. Mr. Stryker's the only one.
What flying experience have you had?
Well, I flew single-engine fighters in the Air Force, but this plane has 4 engines. It's an entirely different kind of flying, altogether.
It's an entirely different kind of flying.
and this one.
Nervous?
Yes.
First time.
No, I've been nervous lots of times.
We can even say that it has better ending credits music than any other film. Take that, Star Wars. And now with number 8, Bird Box. You might have heard about this movie when it came out on Netflix during late 2018 and was instantly critically acclaimed for its humanistic approach towards pandemics. The film tells the story of a global epidemic that begins to spread from Eastern Europe to the rest of the world. The unexplained disease drives people to commit suicide whenever they open their eyes. It's like looking at yourself early in the morning, basically. Amid this nightmarish reality, Mallory, played by Sandra Bullock, and her 2 children embark on a life-threatening quest to find the last protected haven on Earth. The film raises the idea of several conspiracy theories, one being that global epidemics are part of the biological wars waged by countries together as part of population control. Yikes! The film might be the worst-case scenario for a pandemic that's being released during the last decade, but it's still not as bad as number 1. Number 7, Deep Impact. Easily one of the most unforgettable movies of the late 90s. Deep Impact tells the story of a team of NASA scientists' suicidal mission of destroying a huge comet that is within collision course with Earth. There's a deep sense of helplessness back on Earth, as there isn't a whole lot that people can do other than hope and pray that the team succeeds in their mission. Number 6, Outbreak. This movie might be the closest thing as to what we have now, but it's still not as close as number 1. Outbreak tells the story of the resurfacing of a monkey-related disease from Africa after 25 years of its disappearance. The film is relatively fictional, as it does kind of document the Ebola virus outbreak, yeah, that other disease, and shows the economic and emotional breakdown of the country. Number 5, I Am Legend. Imagine being the last person in the world and then finding out that there are other people besides you. Well, that's what Will Smith thought. I Am Legend revolves around a scientist who was unable to stop the spread of an incurable and man-made disease in New York City. Being the only one immune to the disease, Neville is now the last human survivor in what is left of New York City, and perhaps the world, until he begins encountering hordes of zombie-like monsters. The plot thickens when he finds out that there are other survivors like him, leading him to wonder if he's not the only one out there. The movie had a memorable $5 million scene at the Brooklyn Bridge, and this Bob Marley scene.
Best album ever made.
Number 4, Independence Day. Released on July 4th, 1996, this movie is as patriotic and disastrous as it can be, and we mean disastrous in the nicest way here. Our protagonist is also none other than Will Smith here. God, I've been binging way too many Will Smith movies lately. He's also playing the role of Mr. Save the Earth from the evil aliens. Number 3, Blindness. An unknown city is ravaged by an epidemic caused by white blindness, leading it to isolate the infected people so that the disease does not spread. Patients inside the place are divided into 2 camps, fighting over food and basic human needs. Soon enough, criminals and the physically powerful prey upon the weak, hoarding the meager food rations and committing horrific acts. The film is directed by Brazilian director Fernando Meirelles and is inspired by a novel with the same title by Portuguese writer José Saramago. Number 2, 28 Days Later. After a mysterious virus decimates the UK in a matter of weeks, a handful of survivors come together after a month and try to survive together long enough to be rescued. The film's success and global appeal led to the release of the sequel 28 Weeks Later. That is as good as the first one. Before we reveal our top pick, we'd like to give a shout out to some movies that didn't make the list but are still worth watching. Number 1. Contagion. Is Steven Soderbergh a time traveler? Seriously, this movie is way too relatable and fresh for our current situation. The movie talks about an unknown killer virus that's transmitted through pigs and bats, and in a matter of days the virus becomes a global pandemic, quickly affecting thousands of people. The film doesn't necessarily talk about the end of the world, but rather conveys the issues with finding a cure, as well as the way conspiracy theorists and incompetent or malicious authorities can make it worse. Excuse us if we need a drink. This is too real. From the initial outbreak to the search for a vaccine, this movie is a wild roller coaster, highlighting just how quickly society can break down given a sudden crisis. The film stars a stellar cast of actors, including Jude Law, Matt Damon, Marion Cotillard, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kate Winslet, Lawrence Fishburne, and Bryan Cranston. Time for a recap. In this video, we listed our favorite disaster movies. We made sure to cover a wide range of movies including I Am Legend, 2012, and Contagion to make sure we tingle your taste buds. Do you agree with our list? Make sure to tell us about your favorite end-of-the-world movies down in the comments section below, or any movies we failed to mention. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to be notified about our latest videos. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Info Junkie TV.